Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Minnesota Vikings. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll start this drive out on the... And right away, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Carr going to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Curtis. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On third down, Curtis. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. It was just third down and short, but he bit off a little extra.
I would say way more than he could chew, but he chewed up all that yardage in a big way. And that, to me, that was a combination of offensive line, stacked defense, and they handled it. Okay, they got the leverage, they got the blocking angles, and opened up a nice crease. And once you get past that first wave, there's room to roam.
And that's just the third play from scrimmage. They wanted to avoid that 3-and-out. They did. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Play action. Now it's Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Carr. That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Tap the 60, tap the 60.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That was nice. Defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 27 yards there, a first down. They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he'll look underneath here for Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They'll set up a throw. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Harris is in. Touchdown, Minnesota. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was. And when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Extra point good by Prater. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. They'll run on first down. It's Curtis, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Looking deep for Adams. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be.
And you'd think on 3rd down they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result, because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And that one, and even 60 yards in the air. Wow. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week, and you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Anthony Averett picks it, and the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 33. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Up the middle they go. It's Curtis. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 7 on the carry, but they'll need to double that here. It's 3rd and 14.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Pulled in at the 24. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
Ready?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll look to throw here. And the Raiders have got him. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
What now?
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They'll send a receiver in motion left. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Always got some breathing room. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 49 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they were in a That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker safety combo type guys who can add a little bit more size on the defensive side of the ball, but can still run as well, because when you run against 6 DBs with some bigger offensive linemen, you often get this result.
Throwing on first down is Carr. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season. And add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
On first down, Curtis. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's a handoff to Hunt running left. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll run on first down. It's Curtis. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. He was doing everything he could to get the 6 points, a little bit short, but still an excellent run.
And look at it from the defense's point of view. They could have given up on that play. They did not. And
he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there, with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have moved out in front. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived, as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now a give, running left is Harris. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
19
He'll look to throw. He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good. And looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
On second down, it's Curtis. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Going right side here, and that's complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Trap 60, trap 60.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jayon Brown. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing now is Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Curtis. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. On 3rd down, Curtis. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And his kick is indeed good. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going. He's got a man complete. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down on the other side of midfield. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards.
65.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Panther 11.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll set up to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to get the football back at their own 17. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Prater for the extra point. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Curtis. 126 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Out to his left. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
On 1st down, Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll try the left side. It's Curtis. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. On is the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all.
And my goodness, another interception. Jonathan Abram picks it. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
On 1st down, Curtis. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Curtis. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the left side. It's Curtis. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. And he's brought down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field, despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll try again. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And my goodness, another interception. Anthony Averett picks it. And the Raiders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've
got a man. It's caught. inside the 10. It's a big play there for Vegas. 48 yards.
Even with the big lead here in the fourth, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Curtis. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. On second down now, it's Curtis. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Here's Carr. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together.
He's got a man complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 57 yards.
19 Tigers, go!
Now a play fake here on first down. On the move to his left. Smith catches left side. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. On play action, they'll throw. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time as they have dominated the proceedings here into this fourth quarter. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Curtis. And some room to roam now. There he goes right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A big play there. 77 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Come on, come on.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr., his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead now down to 20. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the silver and black. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
They'll try the left side. It's Curtis. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Right back to him on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Carr going to throw here. And incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. He finds his man, complete. That's Curtis. He's going to have the first down and then some. Touchdown! A great effort there. 26 yards. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point splits the uprights, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Let's go now.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
60 Maverick, 19 Lions.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. Gets past one man. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Carr going to look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things.
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Las Vegas, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the